Imagine discovering that your entire existence has been shaped by others, their expectations, judgments, and opinions controlling your every move. Think about all the choices you've made, not because they aligned with your heart, but because you feared what others would say. How authentic has your journey really been? We're about to explore a transformative path toward breaking free from external validation and living life on your own terms. This journey will equip you with powerful insights to liberate yourself from others' expectations and discover what it truly means to live authentically. The final revelation we'll share contains the most life-changing wisdom, so stay with us until the conclusion. Let's explore this universal human challenge, our deep-seated need for acceptance, validation, and approval. This natural desire for connection, while essential to human nature, can silently consume our lives if left unchecked. It steals our joy, authenticity, and sense of purpose. We'll tap into ancient wisdom and modern psychology to guide you toward reclaiming your personal freedom and independence. Consider how often you've held back your true self, perhaps not wearing that bold outfit you love, or keeping quiet about your innovative ideas at work, all because you feared judgment or criticism. These seemingly small compromises accumulate over time, until you realize you've crafted a life based on avoiding judgment rather than pursuing your dreams. The root of this behavior lies deep within our psychological makeup. The renowned psychologist Abraham Maslow identified belonging as a fundamental human need. While our desire for connection and community is beautiful and natural, it can transform into a prison when we become obsessed with gaining approval. The ancient philosopher Epictetus offered this wisdom. Embracing the possibility of being seen as foolish is essential for personal growth. True evolution and authenticity often require letting go of our need for constant approval. When you're perpetually molding yourself to meet others' expectations, you'll never find the space to discover and embrace your true identity. Ask yourself this question: whose validation are you living for? Your family, friends, colleagues, or perhaps anonymous faces on social media? Here's a truth worth considering. No matter how hard you try to please everyone, someone will always find fault with you. Why? Because people view you through their own lens of experiences, insecurities, and biases. Their judgments often reveal more about them than about you. Take Vincent van Gogh's story as inspiration. During his lifetime, critics mocked him, society dismissed him, and he sold just one painting. Yet he continued creating, refusing to let others' opinions silence his passion. Today, millions admire his work as masterpieces. Imagine if he had surrendered to criticism and abandoned his art. The message is clear. Fulfillment comes from aligning with your values and passions, not from meeting others' expectations. Many struggle with this mindset shift because we've been conditioned since childhood to seek approval. Our society often rewards conformity while discouraging individuality. This conditioning teaches us to prioritize external validation over our inner wisdom. But consider this truth: no one else lives your life. No one else experiences the regret of unexplored dreams, the weight of fear-based compromises, or the emptiness of living for others' approval. Only you do. So why surrender your happiness to others' opinions? Breaking free requires two fundamental shifts. First, develop awareness of when and why you seek validation. Notice those moments of hesitation, the urge to conform, or when you adjust your behavior to avoid criticism. Ask yourself honestly: am I doing this because it truly resonates with me, or because it's what others expect? Second, cultivate the courage to embrace your authenticity, even when it disappoints others. This isn't about disregarding others' feelings or acting recklessly. It means making choices aligned with your values, even when uncomfortable. Carl Rogers, a pioneering psychologist, believed authentic living was key to fulfillment. His insight reveals a fascinating paradox. Accepting yourself completely opens the door to genuine transformation. By releasing the need for approval and embracing who you are, you create space for growth. This journey isn't always smooth. People may resist when you prioritize your needs over their expectations. You might face criticism, rejection, or mockery. Remember this crucial truth. Those who truly care about you will support your authentic self even when they disagree with your choices. Here's the beautiful part. Living authentically inspires others to do the same. Your courage becomes a light, encouraging those around you to break free from their own fears and embrace their truth. Take a moment to envision your life without the burden of others' opinions. What decisions would change? What dreams would you pursue? This is just the beginning of understanding how to break free and live genuinely. Next, we'll explore practical steps to silence your inner critic and reclaim your power. Consider this. Your life is a precious gift meant to be lived fully and authentically. What would you do if no one was watching? Let's continue exploring how to reclaim your life from others' judgments. In our next exploration, we'll dive into effective strategies that liberate you from judgment's prison and guide you toward authentic living. Picture yourself at the edge of a vast forest. The path ahead seems uncertain. Each step forward feels daunting. Behind you, voices call out warnings to stay back, avoid risks, stick to the familiar and safe. These voices represent others' judgments and opinions, trying to hold you in place. Consider this. That forest ahead represents your life, your dreams, your untapped potential. Moving forward means learning to quiet external noise and trust your instincts. One common trap keeping us bound to approval seeking is overthinking. How many times have you replayed conversations in your mind, analyzing every word, wondering if you said something wrong? Perhaps you scroll through social media, comparing yourself to others, feeling inadequate because their lives appear more polished, more successful, more perfect. This mental cycle drains your energy, peace, and confidence. The solution begins with shifting perspective. William James, the renowned psychologist, taught us that our greatest power against stress lies in choosing our thoughts. While you can't control others' opinions about you, you control how much power you give those thoughts. Try this powerful exercise. When caught worrying about someone's opinion, pause and ask yourself, will this matter in the grand scheme of my life? Usually the answer is no. A stranger's judgment, a colleague's comment, even a loved one's momentary disapproval won't define your life unless you allow it. Take it further. Will this matter in a year, 5 years, 10? Often we give too much weight to opinions that become irrelevant with time. Shifting focus to the bigger picture helps detach from the immediate pressure of seeking approval. Another crucial step is embracing vulnerability. Living authentically means opening yourself to potential rejection, criticism, or misunderstanding. Yes, this feels frightening, but consider this. History's greatest changemakers, those who transformed our world, once faced ridicule and dismissal. Galileo was branded a heretic. Rosa Parks endured arrest. Martin Luther King Jr. confronted constant opposition. They stood firm not because they were fearless, but because they believed in something greater than approval. Brené Brown, a renowned researcher, identifies vulnerability as courage's birthplace. By embracing vulnerability, you open doors to deeper, more meaningful experiences. Let's address boundaries. We often struggle with others' opinions because we allow their voices to invade our mental and emotional space. Setting boundaries isn't about isolation. It's about creating space for yourself, recognizing that your time, energy, and attention hold value, protecting them from unnecessary negativity and criticism. Begin by identifying what drains you most. Maybe it's a friend who constantly criticizes your choices, or a family member imposing their expectations. Ask yourself, how can I protect my peace? This might mean limiting certain interactions, assertively standing up for yourself, or choosing not to engage in conversations that don't serve you. Building strong self-worth becomes crucial. When you know your value, external validation loses its grip. Take time to reflect on your strengths, achievements, and unique qualities. Celebrate your victories, however small, and remember, you are enough, exactly as you are. Here's a powerful daily affirmation. I deserve love and respect, not for what I do or how others perceive me, but simply for who I am. Regular repetition of this truth can rewire your mindset, building self-confidence independent of external opinions. Now let's confront social media's role. While it can foster connection and expression, it often amplifies approval-seeking behavior. The endless cycle of likes, comments, and comparisons can leave you feeling inadequate and disconnected from your authentic self. If social media impacts your well-being, consider setting usage boundaries. Maybe unfollow accounts triggering negative feelings, take platform breaks, or examine your sharing motivations. Ask yourself, am I posting this because it matters to me or for others' approval? Remember, releasing others' opinions isn't about becoming detached or isolated. It's about reclaiming your power and living aligned with your values, passions, and dreams. You're the author of your story. No one else should write it for you. Reflect on this moment. What steps can you take today towards self-directed living? Which boundaries need setting? Which thoughts need challenging? Which fears need confronting? This is your one precious, irreplaceable life. You deserve to live it on your terms. Next, we'll explore the deeper psychological patterns keeping us trapped in approval-seeking and discover transformative strategies for liberation. Let's venture deeper. In this section, we'll uncover the psychological roots of validation seeking and discuss dismantling these patterns to regain life control. If expectations ever trapped you, or disapproval's fear held you back, we're about to unravel those feelings, replacing them with something more powerful: self-acceptance and inner peace. Reflect on your childhood. As children, our sense of self remains fragile and moldable. We learn to view ourselves through others' eyes: parents, teachers, friends, even strangers. Praise feels like love, criticism like rejection. These experiences become internalized, shaping our self-perception and worldview. This explains why judgment feels so threatening. It connects to our primal survival instinct. In ancient times, group rejection could mean death, as humans relied on tribes for safety and resources. Though society has evolved, this deep-seated fear persists, triggering anxiety and self-doubt when we sense disapproval. Here's the empowering truth: learned patterns can be unlearned. Start by understanding that others' opinions don't reflect your worth. Their interpretations colored by their experiences, beliefs, and biases. What someone thinks of you reveals more about them than you. Consider this metaphor. Imagine holding a mirror. When someone criticizes you, they're not seeing your true self. They're projecting their insecurities, fears, and expectations onto that reflection. Their view is distorted by their personal lens. Once you grasp this, their opinions lose power over you. Practice cognitive reframing, as psychologists suggest. When caught worrying about judgment, pause and ask, what might this opinion reveal about them, rather than me? If someone dismisses your dreams as unrealistic, perhaps it reflects their fear of failure or past disappointments. Reframing helps you see criticism as projection, not truth. Building emotional resilience becomes essential. Resilience isn't about suppressing feelings. It means developing the ability to face criticism without derailment. Mindfulness offers a practical approach. It teaches observing thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating space between trigger and response. Try this exercise. When someone's words hurt, breathe deeply and name your feelings. Simply acknowledge, "I feel hurt," or "I feel embarrassed." Naming emotions helps process them without being controlled by them. Remember, this moment is temporary and doesn't define your worth. Jiddu Krishnamurti, the great philosopher, said observing yourself without judgment represents human intelligence at its highest. Through self-awareness and self-compassion, you begin freeing yourself from others' opinions. But how do you replace this deep validation need with something healthier? The answer lies in self-validation. Self-validation means accepting your feelings, experiences, and choices without needing external approval. Begin small. Daily reflect on your actions and decisions. Instead of wondering what others think, ask yourself, how do I feel about this? Does it align with my values and goals? This practice strengthens self-trust, reducing dependence on external validation. Let's address the conflict fear. Many avoid authentic living, fearing it will create tension or push people away. Here's the paradox. Compromising yourself to maintain peace often breeds resentment toward both situations and people. True harmony comes from navigating conflict with honesty and respect. Consider this. When you set boundaries and express your true self, you allow others to know and respect the real you. Some might resist or disagree, but those genuinely caring will appreciate your honesty. And those who don't? Their departure creates space for nurturing, supportive relationships. Assertive communication serves as a valuable tool for handling conflict. It's not about aggression, but expressing needs and boundaries calmly and confidently. Instead of saying, "You never support me," try, "I feel unsupported when you dismiss my goals. I'd appreciate having a more open conversation about this." Focusing on feelings rather than blame invites dialogue instead of defensiveness. Consider this. How much energy have you wasted worrying about things that never happened? How many opportunities slipped away because of others' potential judgments? Regret weighs heavily, often stemming not from risks taken but from those avoided. Here's a liberating truth. Most people focus too intently on their own lives to deeply scrutinize yours. Their judgments pass quickly, often forgotten as swiftly as they form. Yet you carry these judgments, replaying them endlessly, giving them undeserved weight in your life. Accept this reality. You'll never please everyone. That's perfectly fine. Life isn't about universal approval, it's about aligning with your values, passions, and purpose. Embrace this truth, and you'll naturally attract people and opportunities resonating with your authentic self. As we approach our next phase, reflect on this question. What would you do differently without fear of judgment? Hold that thought, because next we'll explore transforming fear into fuel and taking concrete steps toward living unapologetically. We've reached our final stretch. Here, everything we've explored converges. It's time to transform understanding into action, channeling your insights into a life free from others' opinions' prison. This is your moment of reclaiming freedom. Consider this truth. Fear of judgment persistently blocks personal growth, yet it's ultimately unnecessary. Remember, no one else lives your life. No one else faces your challenges, carries your burdens, or dreams your dreams. So why let their opinions dictate your path? Fear whispers, "What if they don't like me?" What if they laugh? What if I fail? But consider instead, what if they do like you? What if you succeed beyond imagination? What if today's risks lead to an unimaginable future? Fear works both ways. It can paralyze or propel you forward. The key lies in using fear as fuel. Instead of letting it halt you, let it sharpen your focus and strengthen resolve. Remember, courage isn't fearlessness, it's acting despite fear. Let's discuss a crucial mindset shift, moving from external to internal control. External control means letting outside forces, others' opinions, societal expectations, or circumstances influence your emotions and decisions. Internal control means taking ownership of your life. It's recognizing your power to choose thoughts, actions, and responses. This shift begins with self-awareness. Identify areas where others influence you most, perhaps your career, relationships, or self-presentation. Ask yourself, am I making this choice from genuine desire or others' expectations? Next, align actions with values. What matters most to you? What person do you want to become? When actions match values, you'll find clarity and purpose that no external validation can provide. Consider Viktor Frankl's wisdom, the Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He argued that even in dire circumstances we can choose our attitude and find meaning. He wrote that when we can't change a situation, we must change ourselves. This embodies internal control, recognizing that while you can't control others' thoughts or actions, you control your response. In that response lies your power. Practical implementation starts with small, consistent actions. First, permit yourself to fail. Perfection's an illusion that only holds you back. Embrace failure as natural growth. Each mistake teaches, each setback offers learning opportunities. Second, practice saying no. This challenges, yet liberates. When you decline what doesn't align with your values, you affirm yourself. Whether avoiding an uncomfortable social event or leaving a toxic relationship, each no advances authentic living.